Russia is seeking forms of support and ways of reducing its international isolation from Middle Eastern countries. It now finds itself, globally speaking, very isolated, and it's natural it should look to the Middle East in the first instance. Before the invasion, Russia had pulled off the difficult trick of establishing cordial relations with pretty much every Middle Eastern country, even those countries in the region with bad relations among themselves. And in particular, Russia has sought ways to mitigate the effects of sanctions, of Western sanctions against it. It is a member of the OPEC Plus agreement, and that organization recently agreed to restrict global oil supplies. That raises the price. That's very welcome to Russia. It's very unwelcome to Western governments. In addition to that, we've seen the UAE and other countries buy assets in distress sales that Western companies are selling as they leave Russia. And I think most intriguingly of all, we've seen the efforts of some Middle Eastern countries to broker agreements between Russia and Ukraine. Saudi Arabia played an important role in the recent prisoner exchange, and Turkey, particularly the talks in Istanbul, have facilitated the agreement to allow Ukrainian grain shipments to leave Ukrainian ports. So if one is looking globally, I think, there's no more important regional relationship right now for Russia than with the Middle East. I think there are three reasons why Middle Eastern countries need to pay close attention to the Russia-Ukraine war. The first is that this is, in effect, the third major power conflict in Europe in the past century. Now, Western countries aren't yet fighting in the war, but they are actively supporting a country at war with Russia. This could escalate in unpredictable and globally dangerous ways. So it needs to be followed very closely. The second reason is that the war has already produced some very significant, larger international consequences, in particular economic ones, and especially commodities price inflation, oil and food in particular. Now, high oil prices have been good for some Middle Eastern countries, but they've been bad for others, in particular the food importing countries. This is in turn producing global economic turbulence, which I think, again, is worrying and could get worse. The third reason is that this war is ushering in a new dawn of geoeconomics. Western countries are honing and applying potent new instruments of economic warfare, in particular in the energy sector. We see now emerging in the West, in effect, an effort to create an oil buyers cartel against Russia. That's a very significant precedent. That is something that other major oil exporters, including those from the Middle East, need to pay very close attention to. It could have longer-term implications for them too.